Navigating the world of dating can be a nerve-wracking experience, especially when you're nervous around women. It's a common challenge, but one that can be overcome with the right mindset and strategies. In this video, we'll delve into 9 powerful techniques designed to help you conquer your nerves and engage with confidence. Whether you're wondering how to stop being embarrassed about something from the past, struggling with how to stop being nervous around someone you like, or simply looking for solid dating advice for men, this guide is tailored for you. From practical tips on how to talk to girls to insights rooted in Stoic philosophy, we'll explore how to transform anxiety into strength. The journey to overcoming your fears starts here. Explore these strategies and discover how dating advice from men can empower you to approach women with ease. Don't let nerves hold you back. It's time to take control. Support our community by hitting the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the Stoic Goddess channel for more insights and empowering content. Number 1. Cut off the head. In my experience, the hardest part of talking to women is getting stuck in your own head. Your mind races with thoughts like, what if she thinks I'm boring? Or, is this the right time to tell her that I find her attractive? These endless thoughts consume your mind, making it impossible to be present with the woman in front of you and express yourself naturally. But there is a way out of this mental maze. The key is simple, yet highly effective. Focus on observation. When you shift your attention from the storm of thoughts in your head to something external, something about the person you're interacting with, you free yourself from the paralysis caused by overthinking. For example, pay attention to the way she behaves, her unique sense of style, or something as subtle as how she chooses a book or interacts with her surroundings. What makes this technique so effective? It stems from a concept in Stoic philosophy, focusing on what is within your control. By observing what's happening in the moment, you direct your attention to something you can actively engage with, rather than getting caught up in hypothetical situations. In other words, when you're busy observing, there's no room for overthinking. Number 2, how your style speaks before you do. Imagine you see a man named Henry casually walking down the street. Henry isn't famous. He doesn't have billions of dollars in the bank, and you've never heard of him. But there's something about him that catches your attention. He's about to approach a woman, and you wonder, how will this play out? Will he stumble over his words, or will he impress her with his charm? Here's the thing. Henry's appearance spoke volumes before he even opened his mouth. His outfit is simple but sharp, exuding confidence without trying too hard. And when he starts talking to the woman, you can tell that she is attracted, not because of anything he said, but because of the atmosphere he gave off earlier. Why does this happen? Why does someone like Henry, who could be a normal guy, seem to attract attention so easily? It's all about perception. The clothes you wear and the way you wear them send messages to the world around you. Research shows that people form an impression of you within the first 7 seconds of meeting you, and 55% of that impression is based on appearance alone. Isn't that a lot of power in something as simple as your wardrobe? So what happens if Henry wears an outdated, inappropriate outfit? Would that woman have reacted the same way? Probably not. No matter how confident he feels, if his appearance is not appropriate, he is already at a disadvantage. The truth is that we always judge books by their covers. Whether that's fair or not is up for debate, but it's a reality we're facing. This doesn't mean you need to wear expensive designer clothes, but it does mean that the way you present yourself should match the message you want to send. This isn't just about fashion, it's about self-awareness and understanding how the world perceives you. Even in Stoic philosophy, there is an emphasis on controlling what you can and accepting what you cannot. Your appearance is one of the things you can control. Henry, with his carefully chosen outfit, not only looks good, but also feels comfortable. That confidence translates into his interactions, making him more attractive to others. But what about you? What story do your clothes tell? Are you ready to upgrade your appearance and, by extension, your life? That's a question only you can answer. Remember, in a world where people make snap judgments, taking control of the narrative about your appearance can give you the advantage you need. Number 3, drop your expectations. Once upon a time, in a small town, lived a young man named Liam. He had always felt that the world owed him something, a sense of entitlement that made him believe he deserved success, happiness, and love without lifting a finger. But as the years passed, he began to notice a pattern. Nothing came to him easily, and disappointment seemed to follow him like a shadow. One evening, sitting by the lake, Liam met an old man named Victor, who was known for his wisdom and quiet strength. Seeing the frustration on Liam's face, Victor asked, "What troubles you, young man?" Liam sighed and replied, "I don't understand why life is so hard. I feel like I deserve more than what I have, yet nothing seems to go my way." Victor smiled gently and said, "The world doesn't owe you anything, Liam. Not success, not happiness, not love. But here's the secret. If you're willing to put in the work, to mold yourself into the man you wish to be, the world will start to conspire in your favor. The irony is that when you stop expecting things to come your way simply because you exist, more things actually do." Intrigued, Liam asked, "But how do I start? How do I change?" Victor looked out at the lake and spoke softly. "Begin by dropping your expectations. When you speak to others, especially women, let go of any assumptions, good or bad. The active conversation will lose its heaviness, and you'll find yourself more authentic, more at ease." Liam listened intently, realizing the weight of his own expectations had been holding him back. He had been so focused on how he thought things should be that he had forgotten to simply be present, to live in reality. "Does it really work?" Liam questioned, still skeptical. Victor nodded. "Yes, but it requires effort. You must work for everything you want, even a positive mindset. At first you'll be angry that the world isn't as you imagined it, but little by little, you'll start to see the beauty in how things truly are, and that's when the world begins to open up to you." Liam felt a spark of hope. "So I need to work on myself, drop my expectations, and be present?" "Yes," Victor replied. "But remember, it's not just about self-improvement. You need to recognize your fears, confront them, and step out of your comfort zone. Fix your posture, not just physically, but mentally too. Send better signals to the world through your body language and your actions. Practice your social skills, and above all, don't be judgmental, especially towards yourself." Liam pondered Victor's words, understanding that this was not a quick fix but a journey. He realized that overcoming his shyness, especially around women, would require more than just a few tips. It would require a fundamental shift in how he viewed the world and his place in it. "Is there any science behind this?" Liam asked, seeking something tangible to hold on to. Victor nodded again. "There's evidence that those who focus on personal growth and maintain a realistic perspective are more likely to succeed. Studies show that people who adjust their body language and mindset can increase their social attractiveness by up to 70%. It's all about the signals you send, not just to others, but to yourself." As the sun set over the lake, casting a warm glow on the water, Liam felt a sense of clarity. He knew that the journey ahead would be challenging, but he also knew that it was one worth taking. "Thank you, Victor," Liam said, feeling a newfound determination. Victor smiled. "The rest is up to you, Liam. Remember, the world doesn't owe you anything, but if you're willing to work for it, you'll find that it has more to offer than you ever imagined." With that, Liam stood up, ready to face the world with a new mindset. He no longer expected life to hand him anything on a silver platter. Instead, He was ready to earn it, one step at a time. And as he walked away from the lake, he couldn't help but wonder how much more was there to discover if he simply let go and embraced the journey ahead. Number 4. Mastering the art of calm. In the quiet corners of a bustling coffee shop, Anselm, a talented software developer, was fiddling with his cup of coffee, feeling a familiar wave of anxiety. Despite his success in his career, he still struggled with a gnawing sense of discomfort with women, especially when meeting someone new. His palms sweated, his mind raced, making him feel trapped in a vicious cycle of self-consciousness. One afternoon, Anselm accidentally found an old diary at a used bookstore. Titled "Be Calm, A Journey to Confidence," it offered practical advice on overcoming awkwardness and building authentic connections. Intrigued, he began exploring its pages, hoping to find a solution to his social struggles. The book emphasizes a vital principle. To connect with others, one must first be at peace with oneself. This resonated deeply with Anselm. It suggested that confidence is not about hiding anxiety, but about understanding and managing it. The book recommended mindfulness techniques and reflective practices to cultivate inner calm. Anselm began incorporating these methods into his daily routine. He practiced deep breathing exercises and self-reflection to better understand the causes of his discomfort. Gradually, he noticed changes. His conversations became more natural, and his fear of being judged began to subside. He learned that being present and paying attention to the current moment, rather than obsessing over potential pitfalls, made interactions more authentic. The main concept in the book is kinetic calm, a state of balanced tranquility achieved through active engagement with one's thoughts and emotions. Anselm found that by focusing on the present, instead of ruminating on past embarrassments or future worries, he was able to approach social situations with a clearer mind. As Anselm continued to practice these techniques, he felt a transformation. His initial discomfort turned into confidence, allowing him to enjoy meaningful conversations without the burden of self-doubt. He realized that real connections come from self-acceptance and equanimity. Looking back, Anselm wondered, would his experience inspire others struggling with similar fears? How could they also find solace and confidence through self-exploration and mindfulness? Through his journey, Anselm discovered a profound truth. The path to overcoming social anxiety lies not in seeking perfection, but in accepting one's imperfections with composure and empathy. Number 5. Facing fear in conversation. James was a confident man who struggled with a common problem: approaching women. Despite knowing that the worst outcome would be simple rejection, James still felt scared every time he tried to talk to a woman he liked. This fear manifested in subtle but noticeable ways. His eyes darted around the room, his fingers fidgeted, and he would bite his lip. These unconscious actions made him appear awkward and uncomfortable, creating a barrier between him and the person he was trying to connect with. Have you ever felt like that? Like your body betrays you in vulnerable moments? It's a universal experience driven by our primal instincts. When faced with a situation that makes us afraid, even one as harmless as a conversation, our brain perceives it as a threat. This causes a series of physical reactions: racing thoughts, sweaty palms, and those nervous habits that manifest. But why do these reactions make us seem awkward? It's because other people can sense our discomfort, which makes them uncomfortable too. James knew he had to change. He started by becoming aware of his nervous habits. Whenever he noticed his fingers moving toward his lips, he consciously tried to stop. This wasn't easy. It required constant vigilance. But gradually, he began to retrain his brain, replacing those nervous gestures with a calm, steady demeanor. He found that slowing down his speech and movements helped him control his impulses. Science supports this approach. Research shows that a relaxed posture and slower speech can significantly reduce feelings of anxiety, making us appear more confident. But James didn't stop there. He focused on mastering two key aspects of body language: eye contact and a subtle smile. When someone spoke to him, he maintained eye contact with them, occasionally nodding to show he was listening. Maintaining eye contact, especially when you're nervous, can be challenging. However, it's one of the most powerful nonverbal signals we have. It conveys confidence and interest, two qualities that make any interaction more engaging. James added a slight smirk, not a grin, but a small, confident expression that conveyed both amusement and comfort. This small adjustment had a profound impact. Psychology supports this. Studies show that even a subtle smile can make us appear more trustworthy and approachable. As James practiced these techniques, he noticed a change in the way others reacted to him. Conversations flowed more smoothly, and the initial tension he had felt began to dissipate. He realized that by controlling his own discomfort, he could also influence the mood of those around him. Number 6, the power of preparation. In the bustling social scene of today's world, feeling awkward during conversations is a common experience. Imagine walking into a room full of strangers, your palms slightly sweaty, your mind racing for words. This was precisely the scenario that faced Michael during his first major networking event. He had heard countless stories about the importance of spontaneity, but he realized that having a strategy could be just as powerful. Michael's approach wasn't to script his conversations, but to prepare himself with a few open-ended questions and observations. These were tailored to the event's theme and aimed at uncovering common interests. The key was not to rely on these prompts mechanically, but to use them as a springboard to delve deeper into conversations. For example, instead of simply asking, "What do you do?" he would inquire, "What drew you to your field of work?" This subtle shift invited a richer dialogue. Why preparation matters. Preparation offers a mental safety net. It transforms the potential pitfall of an awkward silence into an opportunity for meaningful dialogue. According to research from the University of Chicago, people who engage in conversation with prepared topics are 30% more likely to find common ground compared to those who rely solely on spontaneity. This is because having a few thoughtful questions or observations can guide the conversation and reduce the pressure of coming up with responses on the fly. From a Stoic standpoint, preparation aligns with the principle of controlling what is within our power. Marcus Aurelius emphasized focusing on our own actions and responses rather than external circumstances. By preparing conversation starters, you are exerting control over your social interactions, which helps in maintaining composure and fostering engaging discussions. Number 7, strategic manipulation. In the world of social dynamics, the power of first impressions cannot be overstated. Imagine walking into a room filled with influential people, those who would have once made you feel small and insignificant. How do you navigate this? How do you command respect and admiration from the very start? It's a strategy that doesn't involve manipulation in the conventional sense, but it does require a level of psychological understanding that borders on it. A key insight from psychology is that first impressions are formed within seconds and have a lasting impact. Research has shown that within the first 7 seconds of meeting someone, your appearance, posture, and demeanor shape how others perceive you. A study from 2009 highlights that even subtle factors like the style of your clothing or the firmness of your handshake can drastically influence these first impressions. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Once these initial judgments are made, they tend to persist. Even if you present a different, perhaps more accurate version of yourself later, that first impression lingers in the minds of those you meet. This phenomenon was highlighted in a study that found first impressions can overshadow any subsequent positive interactions, meaning that if you start on a strong note, It can carry you far, even if you falter later on. For someone who is naturally introverted or uncomfortable in new social settings, this can be a game-changing revelation. Consider John, an introvert who often finds himself in social situations where he's expected to perform at his best. Unlike what many might think, introverts aren't inherently bad at socializing. They just find it draining. John realized that he didn't need to maintain a high level of social energy throughout an entire interaction. He just needed to nail the first minute. In practice, this meant that when John met new people, he made a conscious effort to exude confidence right away. He maintained strong eye contact, offered a firm handshake, and spoke in a calm, assured tone. Even if his nerves kicked in later, the groundwork was already laid. His initial impression as a composed, confident individual would stick, even if the conversation veered into less impressive territory. This approach is particularly effective in dating scenarios. Imagine meeting someone new, perhaps a person you find incredibly attractive. The temptation might be to overthink every word, every gesture. But what if, instead, you focused on just the first 60 seconds? Speak clearly, look them in the eyes, and establish a connection with a confident, genuine opening. From there, even if the conversation shifts to mundane topics like the weather, you've already set the tone. They see you as someone worth their attention, a person who, despite any later slip-ups, remains cool and confident in their eyes. The logic behind this strategy is simple yet powerful. Human beings are wired to make quick judgments as a survival mechanism. In ancient times, these snap decisions could mean the difference between life and death. While the stakes are lower in modern social interactions, the process remains the same. We judge quickly, and those judgments stick. But does this strategy amount to manipulation? Not quite. It's more about understanding human nature and leveraging it to your advantage. You're not deceiving anyone. You're simply putting your best foot forward when it matters most. The difference between manipulation and strategy often lies in intent, and in this case, the goal is to make genuine connections by showcasing your true self, just the best version of it. Number 8. Practice growing up. Owen was never the confident type. He was shy, introverted, and the mere thought of approaching a woman made his heart race and his palms sweat. But over the years, something clicked. Owen realized that social skills, much like any other skill, could be learned, practiced, and honed. It wasn't about having some innate talent or overflowing with natural confidence. It was about practice, deliberate, thoughtful practice. But what exactly does it mean to practice social skills? It's not just about mindlessly approaching 10 different people every day, hoping one of them will stick. Instead, it's about refining your approach each time you step out into the world. Think about the last time you struck up a conversation with someone new. Did you maintain good eye contact? Did you listen more than you spoke? Did you stay present in the moment, or did your mind drift to what you should say next? These are the kinds of questions Owen began asking himself after each interaction. At first, it was awkward. Owen would replay conversations in his mind, cringing at every stumble. But slowly he started to notice improvements. He became more comfortable maintaining eye contact, more attuned to the flow of conversation, and less concerned about saying the perfect thing. Each interaction became an opportunity to grow and improve, much like lifting weights at the gym strengthens your muscles over time. This concept is backed by research in the field of behavioral psychology, which suggests that deliberate practice, focusing on specific skills and receiving feedback, can significantly improve one's abilities. For example, a study published in the Journal of Applied Psychology found that deliberate practice in communication skills led to measurable improvements in interpersonal interactions. However, Owen knew he couldn't do this alone. Social skills, by their very nature, require social interaction. So he sought out a community of like-minded individuals, people who were also committed to improving themselves. This wasn't just about dating. It was about leveling up in all areas of life, from professional relationships to personal growth. He discovered a group of men who shared his goals, forming a support network that held each other accountable. They would meet regularly, share their experiences, offer feedback, and push each other to keep improving. The camaraderie and shared sense of purpose made the journey less daunting and more enjoyable. It was like having a gym buddy who spots you on the bench press, ensuring you push your limits safely. But here's the real kicker. Owen didn't just stop at mastering social skills. He realized that the underlying principle, deliberate practice, could be applied to virtually any area of life. Whether it was improving his public speaking, getting better at his job, or even learning to cook, the formula was the same: practice, feedback, refinement, and repeat. So here's a question for you. What area of your life could benefit from this approach? What skill have you always wanted to master but held back, thinking you didn't have what it takes? What if you started practicing today with intention and focus? Imagine where you could be in a year if you did. If you've ever felt like you're on this journey alone, you're not. There's a whole community of people out there working on the same things, facing the same challenges, and striving for the same growth. They're not just talking about practice, they're living it. The question is, are you ready to join them? As Owen's story shows, the road to improvement is long and often uncomfortable. But with the right mindset and the right support, it's a journey worth taking. It's time to stop letting fear and doubt hold you back. Instead, embrace the process, trust in the practice, and take that first step towards becoming the best version of yourself. Number 9, non-linguistic space. In the intricate dance of nonverbal communication, one element often overlooked yet powerfully impactful is the space you occupy. Have you ever considered how much space you take up in a room? It's a subtle but significant indicator of your confidence and comfort level. Imagine walking into a room, and instead of standing tall, you shrink into yourself, arms crossed, legs close together, as if trying to take up as little space as possible. What does this convey? To the observer, you might appear unsure, even intimidated. But why does this happen? Our bodies naturally respond to our mental states. When we feel uncertain or out of place, we unconsciously try to make ourselves smaller. However, there's a fascinating psychological twist. By consciously changing our posture and expanding our space, we can actually influence our feelings. Research in behavioral science shows that adopting expansive postures, such as spreading out a bit more when sitting or standing, can boost your confidence and even affect the way others perceive you. So, what's the balance? You don't want to go to extremes, like sprawling out in a way that feels aggressive or domineering. Instead, aim for a comfortable presence. When sitting, lean back slightly, open your posture and relax your shoulders. If standing, plant your feet a bit wider than usual, keep your back straight, and let your arms rest naturally by your sides. This approach isn't just about appearances, it's about feeling more at ease in your own skin. By occupying more space, you send a message not only to others but to yourself that you belong, that you're confident, and that you're in control. Why does this work? When you physically take up more space, you activate neural pathways that are associated with power and dominance. This doesn't mean you're dominating others. It means you're asserting your presence in a healthy, balanced way. In the end, mastering the art of space in nonverbal communication is about finding that sweet spot, where you're neither shrinking away nor overpowering the room. It's about creating an aura of comfort and confidence, both for yourself and those around you. As you navigate the challenges of feeling nervous around women, remember that growth comes from facing discomfort head-on. Whether you're learning how to stop being embarrassed about something or figuring out how to stop being nervous around someone you like, each step forward strengthens your resolve. The key to overcoming anxiety is persistence. If you're wondering how to stop being nervous around women, the answer lies in practice and self-assurance. Start small. Talk to girls casually, build your confidence, and soon, what seemed daunting will feel natural. This journey of self-improvement is about mastering your emotions, not letting them control you. For more dating advice for men that draws from both experience and wisdom, make sure you don't miss out on future content. If you found this video helpful, show your support by hitting the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to The Stoic Goddess for more insightful dating advice from men. Share your thoughts in the comments and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you for watching, and until next time.